This is it. It is time to knock out Scott Pilgrim vs. the World spoiler review. If you haven't seen the movie review section and you've never seen this movie before and you don't mind, like, what are you doing? Anyway, the Scott Pilgrim spoiler review. Let's get it started. What's up, world? Welcome to Movie Showdowns spoiler review. I'm back with Tyreik Cole, and you know how the spoiler review works. This is Scott Pilgrim vs. the World spoiler review. I'm gonna break this movie down from beginning to end, start to finish. Let's kick it off. Let's get it started. Okay. So the movie starts off, and it's Scott Pilgrim at his place with Steven Stills, Kim and Young Neil, and pretty much just get introduced to the four characters in this movie that you're gonna see a lot, and
kicking it with a band practice.
Pretty much like the start of it, and Steven Stills as Michael Cera, but as Scott Pilgrim about, I don't know what he asked him about, or Scott Pilgrim brought up. One of them brought up the fact that he has a girlfriend now, and she's Chinese, and her name is Knives Chow.
Knives Chow. High school student. He's old, y'all. He graduated. He's like, what is he, like 24, 22? 22?
22. And Knives is 17. And they cut to the next scene, get introduced to Knives. And Steven's like, can you let her in? She's good. Like, would you geek out? I'm like, yeah, she'll geek out.
They want groupies because they're a local band that doesn't have any kind of pull yet. They have no fans.
Right? So they bring Knives in. Now gets introduced to the whole crew. And then they're about to play a song called Sex by Bombs.
That's the name of the band.
Oh, let's start.
What was the song they started out with?
Quack McQueen?
Launchpad McQuack.
Yes.
Launchpad McQuack. Shout out Launchpad McQuack. That's a shout out to Darkwing Duck and Tailspin.
Oh, I didn't know that.
With Launchpad, yeah, he's the duck that flies the planes.
Oh,
shout out
okay.
Launchpad.
So they open, which is like the opener to the movie. The opening credits, the beginning credits is like them playing the song, and you see like it's a great song, and you see like the credits and everything rolling. Like Nas is freaking out. So
this is her first introduction to rock music. She doesn't get to listen to rock music. She says that, so she's not in tune to this music yet. And it's like the first time she's seen like live rock music. Like, that's why she's geeking so hard, because she's like, they're in the store like walking around and they're going through the records and stuff. And like later on, she talks about like she's heard of Envy and she's heard of the little band, but like that's why she's like freaking out. Oh my God, you guys rock! And she said something about, I don't remember what she was listening to before, but yeah, she said she wasn't even allowed to really listen to it.
That's right. So, and from there, they just talk about Knives and everything, and then the next day, Wallace gets introduced next, and he finds out that Scott is dating a high schooler, and then he brings up Scott's sister, who is played by Anna Kendrick, which this is probably the first time I ever seen Anna in a movie. I never knew who she was. And then I saw Pitch Perfect. I was like, oh wow, she was in Scott Pilgrim. What in the world? Like, I saw you in Scott Pilgrim before you got your blow up. Holla at me, Anna. Anna, holla at me. Holla at your boy, Anna.
Hey, links in the comment section.
If you ever see this, which you probably won't. I'm just playing up. Don't really have to holler, but if you do, follow me on Instagram, Snapchat. I'm playing. I'm done. I know you're done. Anyway, so this is Anna Kendrick. First time for me seeing her. She was just a side character. She
funny though.
Yeah, she helps Scott out. A lot. Actually, it's funny. All the side characters in this movie,
funny.
They are funny, but they also like play a good part. Like they're not just side characters. Just be like, I'm
not useless.
Yeah, they actually pitch in parts in the movie to help out Scott on his journey to figure out, one, about himself, and two, his dating situation.
Yeah, his mistakes for sure. They love to grind his nose and everything. Every time he messes up, they rub his nose in it.
Right?
Like so hard.
So like, Scott goes hang out with Knives Chow. They do a bunch of stuff. They go to like the music store. They go to the arcade. They play like a dance version, DDR version of Ninja. Like some Ninja Dance Dance Revolution. They play this game. You pretty much see them how they interact with each other.
A little fun.
And Scott's kind of like, hey, I miss doing this. I miss going on dates. And now it's like, I never had a boyfriend. I never kissed a guy.
Yeah, because he's taking it very lightly. And
Yeah.
she's actually like falling for the dude.
Which is one of the worst situations to be in. Well, not.
There's no communication.
The communication, that's one of the worst communication.
And she's young too, so she doesn't really know. You know what I'm saying? She's falling into it. He's playing on it. And as I stated before in the other review, like Scott knows what he's doing. Scott's plays with women, evidently. You know what I mean?
It's that puppy love. Like in high school, you had that puppy love. That's the kind of stuff that Knives is going through right now. Like she doesn't know what like actual dating and what really like a real relationship looks like. And Scott's like
she's super sheltered. No music. Never heard the rock music. She got embarrassed when they held hands. You know what I'm saying? Like. But what's really funny is that her sister, even another minor character, is Knives' sister in the movie. Like, she seems to be more together than Knives is. Like, Knives seems to be a complete wreck, and her sister's like, yo, what are you doing?
I don't know if that's a complete wreck. It's just like that high school emotion. It's like that stuff you go through in high school, you're like, I'm going to get back, make somebody look bad.
But not even that. I think she just even before that. You know what I'm saying? Right. I think she's like when she's dyeing her hair and she's kind of freaking out. Her sister's just like on the phone like, I can't understand. What are you talking about?
But like even remember in high school, like if your friend's going through that kind of stuff, you like, I'm done talking to you about this. Like we had this conversation over and over again. You just like I feel like her sister's at that point where she got tired of hearing her talk about this over and over again.
Probably because she don't probably talk about nothing else.
Exactly. You know? Like you had that one friend.
So it's an all girls school.
That's true. No, there's some guys there. Cause remember.
I think maybe it was did they have them split up?
It's a Catholic school.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay.
Yeah.
But the uniforms and everything. That's what he said.
It's because like you had that friend who's like every time you talk to him, hey, how's the weather doing? My girlfriend is mad at me again.
Oh,
hey, how's the weather doing? My girlfriend said this to me. How's the weather doing? I fell asleep last night on the movie. My girlfriend got mad. Like everything you do, it's like you're like, hey man, can you not bring up your girlfriend? Like we're trying to watch the Chiefs play right now, and you're talking about your girlfriend. Like,
right.
The Chiefs are winning, and you're talking about your girlfriend. We came back from like 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter, and you're talking about your girlfriend who's a freaking ballet dance. I don't know.
They hurting.
Watching Magic Mike. I don't know.
They hurt on the inside.
But yeah, so like that's what Knives is kind of doing to her friend. You hear that from your friend, you kind of like, I'm over this. Please. But so it's the movie, like I said earlier, it's slow, start off, you can't get to know the characters are and stuff like this, and he has a dream. Scott Pilgrim has a dream and he sees Ramona in his dream and he's like, oh, that was weird. It's a dream with a beautiful girl in it. Okay, no big deal. Him and Knives end up going to the library the next day, and guess who he sees? Ramona. And Ramon's like, yeah, I use this highway in your head, which is like once the comic stuff is coming into this. Mm-hmm. I use this highway in your head, and it helps me get to one place to another really fast. And Scott's like, what are you talking about? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, but you're really cool. I want to get to know you.
And he thinks she's hot,
Yeah.
Like he sees her. You see that girl, you kind of do that double take. Mm-hmm. He does that double take. She does this little slow motion walk. And he's just like, whoa, who's that? And what's so funny about it is real quick, but like Knives catches him doing it, and she's like, you know that girl? like you know what I'm saying? Like it's.
I'm glad Knives not like. I'm glad she wasn't like super self-conscious in this point, because that would have been a blow up. Like you were not gonna let that. I saw you checking her out. I saw you like.
Bull.
Because he was doing it hard.
That's only because, and I feel like it's only because she's so new to it. If she was like an experienced female, yeah, that would have been a
game,
like a no go. I would have got slapped for that one. I would have got 2 seconds. Go.
So, like, they go to a party. Steven Stills gets invited to a party, and he brings everybody with him. Scott doesn't really want to go, but he's there. Him and like young Neil are sitting there complaining about how bad this party sucks. It sucks. It sucks. Oh my god! Like just complaining for no reason. Scott looks around and he sees Ramona.
Happened to be
there by herself with a cup.
Because it was a little music party. Like music people.
It was a music party. Yeah. That's why Scott. That's why
they were all there. It was a little because they were getting ready to do the battle of the bands and everything. So
which is cool that the visuals in this movie are really nice. Like every part, like beginning to end. Because There's a scene where Scott slides in next to Ramona, like the back in the day version of sliding to the DMs. Slides in, and Ramona's sitting there, just those two, and there's like a light switch. That's like above the wall, on top of the wall for no reason. It's out of place. But it's just a funny little scene. They're sitting there talking, getting to know each other. Scott being really awkward, trying to bring up a thing about Pac-Man, and he messes up the joke.
Oh yeah, that was so bad.
Like
at the party, I do love that in that party scene. He's got Komu, because I know people like Komu. He's just like this friend that he's not even a friend. That's the thing. He's not a friend. He's the guy that everybody knows. Everybody knows Komu. Komu knows everybody. So he goes up and he's asking, like, he literally just draws like a small picture of her, and he's like, oh yeah, you're talking about Ramona Flowers, because he didn't even know who she was. He just knew who this girl was with this hair, and he's like, oh yeah, that's Ramona Flowers. He gives her the whole synopsis. He's like, hey, yo, you got the hots for her, man. She's a little bit
battle scars,
a little bit hardcore. yeah. And everybody's like,
I heard she's got all the guys at her feet.
Like everybody knew who she was. Ramona, which is funny because Ramona is not like I said earlier, she's not open, like she's not loud. So how would you figure out who she is?
Rep got around.
That is true. Well, then you got 7 evil exes and make sure you have a rep.
Females.
So in this movie, Scott decided to order something from Amazon or wherever it is in order to meet Ramona, and he's sitting there, gets his email, and his email is from Matthew Patel, but Scott just skims through it, which is funny because Matthew Patel already knew what was about to happen before it happened.
Right.
Which, I don't know how in the world he just figured out, oh, he's about to hit on her. Let me just send this message to him real quick. One time, ready, break.
You know, and I think that the reason that happened was probably because you look at the settings of everything, all the stuff, where he meets the evil exes it's time based. And what I mean by that is Matthew probably got it first because he was probably already there at that Battle of the Bands, that first little area. You know what I'm saying? He probably was already there. Scott goes and sees Lucas Lee because they're making a movie at that time. Todd comes up because of the battle. They just played the set. You know what I'm saying? That's the only reason he runs into him. Say the next girl, they go to the bar. They run in. They literally are just happen to be at the same place at the same time. The Cagnites is because it's in the Battle of the Bands. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like the way it's strategically placed up when the exes come in. I think that's why Matthew was there. He was just there because he had no affiliation to the Battle of the Bands.
He didn't.
He was just a spectator. He was watching. And then everybody else, though, literally was almost either a part of it or something that had to do with it. You know what I mean? I think he was just the grunt. Besides, he had the least relationship with Ramona.
Yeah, he's the very first one.
Middle school? Come on, bro.
The very first one. But, so, anyway, Scott gets a package from Ramona. He asks her on a date, but he's also talking to Knives still. He hasn't really broke up with Knives yet. He's, like, kind of linger her on, which this is something that, once again, another real life thing that happens with people. One person sees somebody else they talk to, start talking. Nothing really too mischievous going on. Like, Scott just wanted to know who Ramona was. He was interested in her, but he was like just talking.
Mm-hmm.
But on his date, I wouldn't say hit it off somehow. I think Ramona was also just kind of like, she was lonely. And she was looking for somebody who wasn't as crazy as her other exes. Scott just had to talk to her, who was different and kind of just the right guy at the right time kind of situation.
I think all her exes are pretty douchebaggy.
Yeah.
All of them are kind of, think they're hot, and she moved to Toronto. That's the thing too. She's an American.
She's from New York.
Yeah, so she moves completely like out of country to get away from the stuff. Obviously, she gets around. The fact that everybody still knows her, even in Canada, that's saying a lot. I can't imagine what it would be like in the United States. Oh Lord.
But it's funny though because like Ramona also like she has she's a dumper. She dumps everybody. She says I dabble in being a bitch in the film. Yeah. Like she dumps everybody. So, like, she kind of looked for somebody who was just different from all the other guys. She had a certain type, and she was like, I'm done with that. And just try this. Anyway, her and Scott end up making out. mind you, Scott is still dating Nas.
But see, that bugs me right there, though. When you talk about that, like that, they're dating. I never really felt like they were dating. You know what I'm saying? I felt like that was something that kind of was an assumption. They never really say it though. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Knives like kind of is like, yeah, we're dating. Scott's kind of like, we're just playing. Which that's what, remember when they said that?
He's like,
playtime?
Playtime?
Yeah,
that does sound really bad, doesn't it?
But that's what it was.
But like there's holding hands like that, and I don't understand that Scott never kissed her, and Scott never tried to make the move. Like, oh no, I was gonna say, how did he run into her? There's a deleted scene. He meets her on the train. You're watching. There's a deleted scene. He meets her on the train, and that's how he started talking to Nas. But yeah, like it was like, okay, Scott, you gotta do something with Nas. And Wallace brings up like, hey, this is his conscience. Wallace kind of like his conscience. Like, Scott, break up with Nas. If you're gonna do this with Ramona, break up with Nas. And that's before we get to that scene though. But yeah, Scott just like, I don't understand how you. My thing with dating, like, I think you should date multiple people, but not be in a relationship with multiple people.
Right.
You get in a relationship, you're set. This is a relationship. You're exclusive. We have the communication that we're in this together.
Right.
If we're trying to figure out who you want to talk to, who you want to stay with, who you want to be around, it's okay to date. But Scott was like, he was more like in a relationship with not like they was only seeing each other and wasn't communicating on both sides. Like, hey, I'm gonna talk to the girls. You can talk to other guys. It's okay. And then we feel like we're a perfect match for each other, or we're a good match at this point in time in life. Let's become exclusive. They didn't have that conversation, so Nas always just thought that he was with me and me only.
Yeah, because she doesn't have any experience. You know what I'm saying? She kind of just, you know, this dude's giving me a lot of attention, and to me, I guess that's dating. That's how she feels.
That's a thought of a mindset from somebody who's in high school, and then somebody who's been through the ringer. Like, we already been through the ringer, so we can see, like...
Scott knows what he's doing.
Yeah. Scott's our age, actually. Like, he's 22. Like, we're what? I'm 24, going on 25. You're just 20. You're 24 now. Yeah. Like, yeah, we know how the games kind of play at our time of life. When I say we know everything, but we have some insight. But right, quotations, insight. We have some. But Scott and Ramona end up going to the Battle of the Bands first round with Steven Stills, and Ramona gets introduced to the whole crew pretty much, and gets introduced to Nas' child.
Oh, buddy, that's the funniest part when he sees now. Scott's consciousness, he's got like two shoulder angels. His two shoulder angels are his sister and Wallace. Yeah. So they're literally at the party and he's using the bathroom, and they're kind of nervous about playing the Battle of the Bands. This other group just came on. They had a girl drummer, and Kim was like, yeah, I'm the only girl drummer, so it's gonna give us some pull. And they had a girl drummer, and she's freaking out, and Steven's freaking out, and they're like getting ready to play the set. And then Scott looks up into the balcony, and who does he see? He sees his sister talking to Ramona, and then there's Knives there, and then she's like, oh, so how'd you guys meet and all this stuff? And she's just about to, like, and Scott knows that his sister's going to spill the beans. Yeah. So he's like, oh, we got to play, we got to...
Well, Knives about to talk first, like, well, we met, and then Knives like, hey, play now, on stage. Yeah. So they begin to play, Knives get distracted, and then in the middle of this song, Matthew Patel bursts in, and he goes, Scott Pilgrim, and says something to him, and then like Gary just charges at him, and Scott's like, what do I do? What did I do? And just Wall's like, fight! He throws away his guitar to Young Neil and just blocks his punch and gives a solid uppercut, and everyone's like, what? Which to me, nobody, no security, nobody just like, we should stop this now. Everybody's like,
it's a hole in the wall bar. you know. What was the name of the place? The Rocket. That was the name of the place. Yeah, it was just some hole in the wall bar. You know.
Just let them fight. They fought it, and you kind of learn about Matthew Patel and why he's trying to beat up Scott and trying to finish Scott, because he's part of the League of Evil Axis, as another member calls it, and they're just trying to stop Scott from dating Ramona. And Scott has beat him off in order for him to date Ramona.
That's what I never really understood about the movie. Why do they want to prevent this? I can understand Gideon's perspective.
I think Gideon might have paid him off.
Did he pay him?
didn't really imply.
It seems like he just grabbed a whole bunch of people that were mad at the fact that she dumped them, and then okay, she dumped you guys, so why are y'all mad at him? You know what I mean? And some of them don't even seem mad at him. Some of them just seem like they just want to fight him just cause.
Yeah,
he happens to be a part of it. Like they don't. It's like daily work to some of the guys. You know, I think Lucas doesn't really give a dang. You know what I'm saying? I honestly don't think Matthew. He maybe he gave the most care. He said, you know, you'll pay for your insolence, flowers. He seemed really upset at her.
Oh yeah, he was.
Maybe it's just to keep her. Maybe they want to keep her sad. Maybe they don't want her to be happy. That could be it. That could be it.
That could be. So, Scott ended up fighting Matthew Patel. You learn that he's the first evil ex dated in middle school. Ramona and Matt dated in middle school. And the reason why she dated him because he was literally the non-jock, non-white kid. He was Middle Eastern or Indian, one of the two, who's just like a pirate, but not like your classic.
He just dressed kind of pirate-ish.
Pirate-ish. Which this movie came out, he said Pirates are in this year. I can't. Was another Pirates of the Caribbean movie came out? I hope Pirates of the Caribbean came out 2009 or 2011 because that would have made so much sense when the
the first one came out like 2007, 8.
No, the first one came out back.
Oh, well, no, it was 4. So 3? Was it 4 or 3?
4 came out like 2000 while I was in college, so at least 4.
No, I meant like 2004. 2004, 2003. The first one came out.
2003 was the
2003. Okay. Once 2005, 2006 was probably the second one.
Yeah, around there. Which I'm gotta do the Pirates of the Caribbean review, but Scott Pilgrim beats Matthew Patel, and then he finds out that in order for him to date Ramona, he has to beat the 7 evil exes. And Wallace, like Scott's like, okay, that's cool. And Wallace is trying to tell Scott, like, hey man, you need to break up with Nas. You need to do this because if you continue to date Ramona, you're gonna hurt Nas, and Nas don't deserve this. Scott's like, okay. He's like, do it. You have to do it before you go on your next date with Ramona. In the meantime, what do you see?
I was just making sure water wasn't coming off that cup on your computer.
Oh no, it's good.
Okay.
In the meantime, Waller's like, I'm gonna go stalk this guy, which is Lucas Lee. You see like a clip of Lucas Lee who's kind of saying like, next time you see me, I'm pretty much gonna end you. And it was funny because I was alluding to the next scene, which with Scott. So Scott go on a date with Nas, and he breaks up with Nas. Like he said, hey, I think we should end and just leave it at that. Like I think we should end. I think this should be over. Nas is crushed. Scott's like feeling kind of bad about it, but then he thinks about Ramona, who he has up next, and he's like, yes. Date night with Ramona, not going so well. Scott breaks out, freaks out, and then he goes to
the movie set. The castle is where it was, and it was so funny because he knew it was gonna happen. Like Wallace was like, "Okay, I'll be at the castle stalking Lucas Lee. You know, whenever it happens, just go find me at the castle. I'll help you out." And he was like, "If," and he's like, "No, when?" Because he
60
knew,
minutes.
Yeah, he knew it was gonna happen. Yeah, so yeah, freaks out, blows it, gets to the castle to find Wallace. And I guess seek the counsel, and Lucas Lee is there, and it's funny because they're having a conversation kind of about him as they're walking up about, you know, yeah, I dated this one guy, and oh snap, there he is. Yeah.
Right? Yes, snot in his nose. Yes, snot in his nose. He's a kid. Hey, I'm talking to you. Scott Pilgrim, he is nice. He's talking to me. He's famous. He's talking to me.
It's funny how they all know who he is. It's like they got a picture or something. Like they all know who he is.
Exactly what he looks like.
Yeah, he's walking up, like completely like, I'm just here. You know what I'm saying? And then as soon as it's rumble time, like
right?
as soon as he gets in there,
he seems nice. It's funny. Like every person who meets Scott, like he's kind of a good guy. He's not a bad guy. It's like Lucas like. Punch in the face, punch again. He seems nice, and just like
yeah, it's like that's what I'm saying. It's like they don't hate him. It's like
right?
it's like business as usual. It's like you. That's why I feel like, and I just thought about it, but I feel like they're just doing it to make her unhappy. Right? I feel like they're just like, Ramona, you're kind of a a wench, and this is nothing to me. So I'm just gonna smack your boyfriend around.
And surprisingly, Scott holds his own against all of them. Like he gets jumped by 7 guys, stunt guys. Somehow comes out on
huge.
top.
Some of those dudes are big.
Right?
Some dudes are big.
He comes out on top. Sorry guys, it's raining outside, so you hear rain and thunder and lightning. You can't hear lightning.
Thunder and the rain.
Just getting your heads up. But he comes out up on top and then like charges Lucas Lee. Lucas kicks him down and Scott trying to think his way out of it. So he's like, hey, can you do this skateboard trick? Lucas like, it's called grind, bro. Like, I'm a skateboarder, top notch. I'm a top notch actor. I'm the best in the world. I can do this. Got this hands down. Somebody hate my skateboard. Wallace just appears out of nowhere, hands him his skateboard. I love this. He goes, who are you? My name's Wallace. I'm a big fan. And Chris Evans, Lucas Lee goes,
why wouldn't you be?
Yeah, why wouldn't you be?
I love the fact that he realizes in that scene, and it's kind of because I guess Scott has these weird powers. I guess he can fight randomly, but it's funny because in that scene when he does that, it shows that he's like, I can't fight these guys.
Yeah,
like I have to let this guy has to mess himself up because I'm getting jumped over here.
Like he's smarter than all the other ones, and Lucas tried to do the grind down the like 200 steps, 200 plus steps, and he gets it, but he pretty much explodes.
It's like 200 steps and the rails are trash.
Why did he explode?
He bailed hard. He was going fast down those rails. You gotta realize there's ice and like snow on the rails. Right. So he's like grinding and doing tricks. It's like the steepest hill ever. Like he's just like going so hard. He just explodes.
And he totally bailed.
Into not much money, by the way. That's the funny thing. Every time someone dies, like the boyfriend die, they explode into coins. If you played the game, that's what happens too. You pick up the coins, money, and points. But it's funny in the movie, you actually see they like burst in like a pocket change. Yeah, and that's not even enough for the buzz.
So the next scene, Ramona disappears. She bails out on Scott. Scott's panicking. He's trying to figure out what's going on. He's trying to find her. He goes to get some coffee to talk to his sister about everything that's going on. And he runs to Julie, who's literally cussing him out in this movie. She's saying the F word, but every time she says she bleeps, there's like bleep blocks. There's like a censor bar that appears every time she says something. And it's funny because like, oh wow, they're just bleeping it out. Like, okay. And
they mentioned it. How are you doing that thing with your mouth? No, but I'm doing that thing with my mouth.
And he turned around, Scott turned around, and then he sees Ramona. And she's like, yeah, I'm sorry. I tend to disappear every once in a while. Like, okay, you know some help. Like, you're not good support. And he's talking to her like, hey, it's okay. You know, it's cool. We can still talk about it. Then he goes, oh, shit. He sees his ex, which he got a call from the scene before. He sees his ex appearing in the form of her poster.
and the reason for that, that's what I was going to say. The reason for that is because that the link between those 4 characters is Julie. Julie works with Scott's sister. Julie's a friend with Envy. Envy was there because Julie was there. Envy goes there because she's inviting Julie to that party. When you see her later and they're sitting all together in the party. That's why Envy's there. So she goes in there and like Ashley, or that was her name, right? His sister? Was her name Ashley? His sister? Stacy, like, was calling Scott, talking to him. He goes over to see Stacy, runs into Julie. Stacy leaves, runs into Envy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's weird. But
that's funny you thought of it like that. I was like, you'd think he would have noticed her sitting there.
Yeah, I literally think that's what it is. He wanted the sister switch with Julie.
Change shifts.
Julie doesn't like doesn't like Scott, probably because she doesn't like Steven. Yeah. And you know what I mean? And she's just that person.
It's real life scenario. Like it's real life stuff. Like and Amy's like invited both of them to the band to open before them tonight. And Scott's like, I'm not gonna do it. Like he's like, you're gonna be there. Like she already knew.
Right.
Because Steven still wasn't gonna let them like for the band.
Gotcha.
For the band.
Because Steven wants the money.
Mm-hmm.
Steven wants the money and the success. Like everything else is secondary to him.
So they perform at Envy's concert.
What was the name of that place?
I forgot the name.
I know the name. I don't know it. Okay.
While you think of it though, Nas is like still lingering around. She's like seeing all this go down. She sees that Scott has a new girlfriend, and she goes dyes her hair, change it blue, because Ramona changed her hair blue, and she starts dating young Neil, or pretends to date young Neil to try to get back at Scott.
Because he's a Scott clone.
Yeah, that's pretty much young Neil is. He's a Scott clone. He can fill in for Scott when he's not there. So therefore nobody really misses Scott.
He dresses like Scott. He acts like Scott.
Scott's like his role model, and yeah. So she ended up so-called dating young Neil. The band plays, Sex by Bombs plays, and they didn't really do that well. And then Envy plays with her band, Clash the Demon Head. They play, and you see the third boyfriend.
Great song.
Todd Ingram. Who's
You know what's funny about this? Keep going. I'm sorry.
He's like sitting there, and Ramona and Scott talking about like has Envy with my ex, so like that, and then they go, yeah, there's my ex right there, and Scott's like, what? The lead singer who left her for no, she dumped Scott, but he ended up dating Envy because Envy loved Scott for Todd Ingram. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's funny how that rolls around.
Mm-hmm. Love triangles.
Right? There's so many different love triangles in this movie. It's not even funny. It's like a love octagon.
That's when you're in a place where you're in a small area, everybody know each other. Watch out.
Right?
But it's crazy. I hate I wish this scene was longer. I understand they gotta like spread out. This is like my favorite scene. As you said, one of your favorites. But the song that they do is great. I love the song, and it was but this is where it kills me because in the manga and the anime, I'm sorry, not the anime, so the video game, and they even show it on the movie poster of the actual Scott Pilgrim movie. There's a fight scene in the manga and in the game where at that particular location, right there, the drummer and is Todd walks off because I guess Todd, like all the females like him, so he walks off, and actually the drummer and Envy actually start fighting Scott in the manga. You know what I mean? And they even show it on the movie poster. The drummer in their band, she has like a robotic arm, and it's all like wrapped up and stuff. So like they show her fighting, and then what happens is her and Envy get into it over Scott because I guess they still like Scott. They cut it out of the movie, and then Scott, they have to handle that situation, and when they handle that situation, that's what gets into the next scene. Well, they kind of use that scene to fill it, but then that's how Todd gets involved because they were fighting originally. But then they did that whole sit down scene, which was hilarious.
So the sit down scene, everybody's kind of talking. They're not really talking; they're just staring at each other, really. And Nas is like, "Oh my gosh, I kissed the lips that kiss you, Envy. I kissed Scott Pilgrim, who kissed you." She's like, in a relationship, she's like, because Nas is freaking. This is her role model. It's like Envy's what somebody should look up to. So she's freaking out. She's fangirling super hard, and Envy like orders Todd to just knock her out one. So he
snuck her so hard.
Right?
Oh man, I'm thinking about that. He knocked the highlights out of her hair. How you hit somebody so hard that the color falls out of their hair? Like he slugged her so hard. Oh man, that's wild. I'm just thinking about that. Yeah. Let's not do a violence on women, y'all. He at that point, he starts fighting, and young Neil is kind of like, what the heck, and you gotta kind of stand up for a little bit, so they gets to rumbling, and Scott has no chance against Todd Ingram because he's a vegan.
He has vegan powers.
He's vegan, which means he has superpowers of psychic proportion. He has psychic powers on the fact that he's vegan. On top of being a rather fit looking dude, he looks like he probably works out. So on top of being buff, because obviously he couldn't handle Lucas Lee. Lucas Lee was buff. mind you. Lucas Lee was beating him up. He couldn't handle Lucas Lee because it was too much, probably. He obviously he's not going to head Todd. But Todd, what makes Todd so worse is that he's buff, and he's dating his ex, and he plays bass better than him.
And he has vegan powers.
He has powers. So he's like basically, like, I'm better than you in every way, Scott. Essentially. Except he's dumb.
He's ovo-lacto vegetarian or vegan. Like, he doesn't eat anything or partake in anything, milk, nothing, anything that has a face, he doesn't mess with it. And
he's supposed to.
And he gives him, like, psychic powers. Not really psychic, more like telekinesis, where he can move something around. And
yeah, but it's psychic, too, because he can read his thoughts.
Oh, yes, he can read his thoughts.
He was reading his thoughts. He was in his head.
And, yeah, it was crazy. And Ramona gives a background why she broke up. She broke up with Lee because Todd walked by, and she broke up with Todd because he was going to Vegan Academy. Mm-hmm. So she didn't want to be a part of that. So she pretty much just got rid of them. And that doesn't really help Scott out at all. Scott was like, maybe it might help me out in the fight. No. So they get into like this battle of bases, right? Like base battle, which is pretty awesome. One of my favorite scenes. And how Scott, once again, this is when Scott uses his mind, because Scott can't outpower him, he can't outplay him, but he can't outthink him.
No, he was getting beat up hard.
Man.
He was getting, not only did he lose that base battle, but he was getting like beat up.
This is like one of his worst fights. Like this is one where
like he peed his pants.
He literally did. But he tricks Todd by giving him half and half.
Half and half.
Half soy milk, half regular milk, and Todd loses his power because the vegan police comes in and de-veganized Ray because it's his third strike.
Because he evidently messed up too many times prior to this. I don't know how Scott knew this, but he knew that if he got him to drink or break his code, it would somehow. I don't know how he would have known that.
The lotto isn't vegan. It's milk and eggs, bitch.
How do we know that if we give this guy some kind of food that's not vegan, he'll lose his power? And it kind of explained a little bit whether like dairy products like block like your brain, something in your brain, like the Courage
away. Like, yeah, they did.
I didn't get it, but okay.
So Scott beats Todd.
Because the police take his powers.
And he headbutts him. And it kind of tells Envy, like, hey, you know, you was nice back then. Maybe you still go by the name Natalie. You know, just...
She was kind of both. You know what? It was weird how she reacted to that whole scene. She was like, you just killed my boyfriend, essentially.
Yeah.
And she kind of was like... It was like a wake-up call, almost. And she was like... It looked like she had some feelings for Scott coming back a little bit.
I thought so, too. It was kind of weird. But, so they're recovering, they go to a party, they go to the after party, kind of recover, just kind of like, you know, hey, which Steven Steele them never helps out. That's one thing that bothered me, like, they're his friends, but they didn't help out. Well, also it's a one-on-one fight, so technically it's not cheating. Like,
they kind of, do in the manga and the games, they do.
They do?
Yeah, it's just, you know, in the movie they don't. They actually have scenes in like the manga, and it's crazy where like Steven is like starts to talk to like Kim and starts to like date her almost in a sense.
Huh.
And yeah, it's weird. Like they have like a little love thing going on. But you know they can elaborate more.
Right.
You got pages.
True.
You know.
So they go to the after party. Ramona and Scott start getting into it because like Scott's just tired of fighting, tired of all this. Ramona's like, oh, hey, you know, I'm sorry, I can't really do anything about this. Not really my fault, but in a sense, indirectly, it kind of is because he's dating her. But
right.
But Scott wants to date her, so this is something he has to put up with.
Tries to get a drink.
Gets attacked by a lady who attacked him earlier in the movie. We didn't really mention the scene because it was so quick.
Oh yeah.
Roxy, the ninja, she tried to start a fight with Scott earlier. Scott's like, I don't have time for this. Not today. Well, it's time now. Because she's the fourth one. She's the fourth evil exes. And Ramona been telling Scott, she's like, hey, they're evil exes and not all ex-boyfriends. Just giving a heads up. And Scott's like, oh, it makes sense now.
Right.
He had a sexy phase, as he called it.
A sexy phase. Yeah. She was with a woman. And It's so funny because, like, when she runs into him earlier, it's like she's been watching him the whole time.
Right.
So she literally waits until he just got out of this extremely tough fight, and as soon as he tries to calm it down, she, like, ganks him.
She's the smartest one. Like, she literally been watching him. It's like, she knew the battle scars, and Ramona steps in the fight, which she holds her own. Like, she is not a punk at all. She pulls this giant hammer out of her little bag, little snapback, and just goes to town, beats Roxy pretty much, but Roxy can't lose because Scott has to fight her. Scott's like, I don't want to fight women. They're soft. So this puppet thing, which is kind of cool, Ramona uses Scott as a puppet and kind of just like throws his body at Roxy and like punching with Scott's body kind of. It was kind of cool.
It was awesome.
It was a pretty cool scene. And Scott beats her because...
yeah, she
orgasms.
She orgasms so hard that she's got this like fetish. If you like, wasn't the back of her knee?
Back of her knee.
She gets really turned on. I guess if you touch the back of her knee, and Ramona tells him, and he literally like pokes it. It's literally like the slightest touch, and she essentially has what appears to be an orgasmic explosion of money rain because she dies from it. That's got to be a good way to go out though. Whoa!
Which, like, that was such a love turn in the movie. You're like, wait, where is this coming from? Wait, I was on board. All right, that just happened. Okay, we'll just.
It's funny though.
It is.
It makes no sense.
It makes no sense whatsoever. So Scott beats Roxy, and him and Ramona have a little break because he is tired. He's like, I'm so done with this. I become an evil ex. He's like, he jokes about it, but Ramona's like, okay, in that case, you're done. He's like, okay, can I have a list? She give him a list.
He was upset.
And he finds out that there's two that he has a face now. The twins that she dated at the same time, the Catanagi twins. At the same time, she got two men. But
I was gonna try to come out and give him time, dang it.
Right. So, then also the next guys they're gonna face at the Battle of the Bands, and they're facing them at the same time. So the Sex Bob-ombs versus the Catanati twins on stage.
Amp versus Amp.
Amp versus Amp, which you can talk about because you mentioned it earlier.
Oh, I just like that scene a lot. It's one of my favorite scenes. This is like my second favorite scene in the movie, even though the fight between them isn't what it wasn't what I expected it to be, because remember I had played the video game and read the books too, so it's different. You know, it's way different in the game and stuff like that. You actually fight them individually, and then they actually do a giant robot type thing.
So that's what he said earlier. Like, I keep the robot so hard, so the curvature of the earth. I could never figure out what scene. It has to be something from a video game or the manga. He's talking about them.
Yeah, exactly. They do like a Voltron thing, and they make a giant robot, and they actually go through the town, and you have to fight the robot.
Okay.
But they just do it the music scene, which is fine. I don't mind the music scene. It was still a good scene. I like the fact how they because each battle is kind of different. They had the regular stand, I'm just fighting. You had the one-on-one. You had the one on Minnie, and he had to use the thought. Then you had the one versus just the guy that just so many superpowers. I can't even overpower. I gotta think on this one too. And then I gotta fight this girl. I can't even fight her for real. You know what I'm saying? So these are all different kind of battles. And in this one, it's a group on group essentially. You have the whole Sex Bob-omb versus the Catanagi twins. They don't talk much. They don't say anything about what their relationship with Ramona was. You just know that Ramona got down with the Catanagi twins. They don't say nothing. All they do is, and they don't even play instruments. That's what's crazy. They have electronic. They're like EDM music. Like they have the boards of just electronic music, and they turn their amps with they got huge speakers and everything. And you just got Scott over here, and he's like duct tape drums.
This stuff is all messed up.
Yeah. like local band, and they're ripping, and their stuff is so high quality that it's just like electricity's coming out.
And two dragons are coming out. There's like
2 dragons are busting out the the speakers.
And Scott uses like he puts himself into like the spirit of the song, and then like it forms a gorilla.
Yeah, he's a power pedal, a freaking amp power pedal, guys. This is regular music stuff here. He steps on it, and they form a gorilla out of all things. Now, what they should have did is they should have made a giant sex bomb. Like if it was a giant bomb from Mario, I would have freaked out. Like I really would have freaked out. But yeah, they make a gorilla, and the music they're playing hard, and the harder they play,
Reach My Threshold. I think it's called Threshold.
The name of the song.
I think it's the name of the song. But it's a good song.
It's a great song.
And they beat the K90 twins, knocked them out, get more points. Scott get an extra life that will come in handy.
Crushed by the stinking stuff. Like the dragons fell. Like
did nobody else in the crowd like experience that?
No, yeah, that was crazy because like the gorilla like slams both the dragons down into like the stage, and it breaks. Like the whole stage explodes almost.
And there's mind you, this is a concert, so there's crowds and people watching it. People are like the roof gets blown off. Like so, therefore the dragons do something. They blow the roof off. Like people can see this, but nobody really cares. But Scott sees Ramona in the crowd, and Kim's like, "Hey, Scott, you should probably go make up with Ramona. Not that I care, but you should probably go do it because she does. Why? Because Scott dated her in high school, and Scott
Kim cares for Scott. She actually legitimately has love for Scott. And that's kind of why she's always so hurt over it, because she actually cares about him. It's also why she always rubs his nose and everything.
Right. And Scott goes and tries to talk to Ramona, but he runs to Knives. And he's like, "Hey, Nas, I have to go." He catches up with Ramona, tells him that he's in lesbians with her. Missed this moment. Gideon Graves appears out of nowhere and says, "Hey, dude."
So great. So great.
He offers him a contract. Scott's like, "We don't want this contract." Steven Stills is like, "Hell yeah, we do."
Yeah, right.
And he starts signing the contract.
So
he's like, "I'm not going." Scott's like, "I refuse to be a part of this." We have Young Neil. Young Neil joins in. I'm Young Neil. And Gideon's like, "Sorry, Scott, you lost out. Like, you lost Ramona and they lost your band."
So pretentious, yeah. And he's like, hey, Scott, you know what? If I never got with her, she would have never got with you. But if you never got with her, she would have never got back with me. So I guess it all kind of shakes out. Let's go. Like a perfect asshole.
Exactly what he is. So Scott's like just kind of wallowing his own sorrow, like he's sad, he's let down, he messed up. His sister comes out of nowhere and he's like, "Hey, I'm Anna Kendrick. I'm back. Hey, I'm Anna. And I'm just going to tell you that if you love your sister," oh, sorry, god dang it, "you love Ramona," that'd be kind of awkward. "You love Ramona, go talk to her. Like, go fight for her. If you really want to be with her that bad, go fight for her."
He also discovers how evil Gideon is, so as he discovers the chip.
Which we haven't got to that part yet.
No, like, they show it right there when they were talking at the thing. When they were at the limo scene, when they were talking before he drove up in the limo, she's like, "He's kind of got a way of getting into my head," and she just like shows it. She just like rubs it. And
she rubs it back up. But Scott doesn't know about the chip yet. Like he still.
Oh, they didn't show it.
Yeah, like he didn't see it until later when she actually said that line. But she's like, she is rubbing her back, her neck right there, just like. Yeah. She's kind of like, "I'm sorry, Scott," but Scott's kind of going back still in his sorrows, and then he goes talk to Wallace. And he kind of walks into Wallace, and Wallace is like, "Hey, man, yeah, you gotta go." But
Wallace has a lot of men that come over that he frequently gets to sleep with. Wallace is a player. There's a scene he's got like three dudes.
Three dudes, yeah.
Other Scott, another Scott.
Yeah, he has other Scotts. Two different Scotts.
Yeah. Something like that.
Wallace gets down. He gets more game than anybody in this movie. But, so Wallace is pretty much telling Scott, like, "Hey, Scott, I'm sorry, man, you win some, you lose some. But, sorry, guys, my cat just came into the room and you can hear her, so I'm sorry about that. But, you win some, you lose some, and then freaking Gideon calls Scott and pretty much just rubs it in his face, like, you lost, man, but you can come to a party, but you lost." And Wallace's like, go kick his butt, Scott. Scott gets up, runs out to the place, finally gets up in there, sees the sex by bottles. He's like, hey, Steven's like, don't do it, man. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Scott's like, no, I need to do this. Mm. He goes up and talks to Gideon and Ramona and says, Ramona, I love you. And Gideon's like, you want to fight me for her? He's like, yeah. Was that not clear? He brings in his goons. Scott beat everybody after getting his power sword of love. Fights everybody off. And then goes fights Gideon. And he gets kicked back on this one. He gets kicked back.
Yeah, he kills him.
Yeah, Gideon kind of like beats Scott's butt. But Scott,
he beats him up, and then Knives and Ramona start fighting.
You can Knives just out of nowhere to attack Ramona.
And then Gideon kill him.
No. Knives jumps in, attacks Gideon, knock Gideon down.
Yeah.
And then attacks Ramona and start fighting Ramona. Yeah. Scott's like, hey, sorry, don't fight. Mm-hmm. I cheat on you, Knives, with Ramona. Ramona, I cheat on you with Knives. I'm sorry. And they're like, you cheat on me? Like, how? Why? And then Gideon's like, hey, man, you might be able to cheat these women, but you can't cheat death, and just kills them.
That's why I like Gideon, too, because he's like, oh, Scott's too busy talking, and he runs up and, like, stabbed him in the heart.
You never see that in any movie. Anytime somebody's talking, the bad guy always just waits.
Yeah, no. He
always waits.
He run up, get done up. He's game over.
So Scott wakes up in this plane. It's called where he dies and wakes up at.
Oh, that whole thing is that I don't know what it's called. It's in the game and stuff. All that is the same area, the little space time highway thing. I don't know what it's called, but whatever that is.
Scott,
but he got a 1-up earlier in the game. In the movie.
Yeah, that's literally like it's a video game movie.
It's a 1-up, man.
Ramona comes to visit him and say, "Hey, this is what happened. Gideon, you put a chip in my head. He got into me. I can't really let him go. Kind of deal. I'm sorry." And Scott gives his one back because Ramona's like, "Maybe you shouldn't be fighting for me. Maybe you should be fighting for yourself." And Scott's like, "You're right." And he gives his 1-up, comes back to life, does everything all over again. Makes up with the sex by Bombs, like, hey, Steven Stills, the new band rocks, keep it. Young Neil, you're now just known as Neil. You're good. The band's better with you. Mm-hmm. And Kim, I'm sorry about me. I'm sorry. And Kim's like has a smile on her face, like he realized.
He apologized finally.
Yep. And then he talks to Gideon, and Gideon's like, you want to fight me for her? He's like, no, I'm gonna fight you for me. Scott Pilgrim gets the power of self-respect.
The same sword with a blue glow.
It was hilarious, but more power. And he just goes to everybody, kicks down Gideon's butt.
But I love that fight scene I like that scene because Gideon does the same thing essentially. Like Gideon, the first time he's fighting, but it's just his cane, like his little cane sword. And then like Scott like literally breaks that sword. And he's like, yeah, I got Gideon beat, and Gideon freaking does like some ninja.
Before he gets that, because Nas comes out of nowhere again, and then Scott's like, no, Nas, I cheated. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah. Are we good now? Like, he told the truth and everything. Like, are we good? And Ramona's like, the chip finally dies off. Like, he finally came clean on everything. We're good. And then Gideon's like, hey, we have a fight going on here. What are you doing?
There's a fight going on there. Smacking on that gun.
Yeah. And then Scott jumps in and like the fight, like, versus. He goes, wrong move, man. And he brings his sword. He does this thing with his hands and like this little combination, and his sword, this long Sephiroth sword comes out.
That sword was clean.
Oh my god, that
sword is clean.
And Gideon,
that's the best looking sword in the game.
Like he's playing fence with it, like he's fighting like a fence player, and he has his hand behind his back, this long sword throwing it around, like he is taking out like Scott's struggling. Yeah, and Nas and Ramona jumps in, help him out. They finally
they jump him.
Yeah, they pretty much it's 3-on-1 because it's a boss fight.
Yeah,
3-on-1, and Gideon gets rid of Ramona. He backhands her and just knocks it. No, well, he knocks down Nas. He knocks down Scott, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm still the man. I still got my girl.
That's still my girl."
The same smirk. Still my girl. Yeah. And Ramon's like, "Let's be girls together," and just knees on the balls. But then he smacks her and just knocks down Nas and Scott.
He kicked her.
Oh, he kicked her too. Kicked her down
the steps.
While she's down, she kicked her, and Scott and Nas get up and they're like, looked at him with this very like, "You are the worst man Like, you're just
What?
horrible. That's what he said.
What? You just backhand a woman and kicked her down some stairs.
What? The most nonchalant, like, what?
That's a douchebag response.
And they just kick his butt, like, just go in, like,
doing all the ninja moves from the ninja game in the beginning.
Right, and like Nas kicks him. It's a really cool scene. Like we're not doing it justice right now. 'Cause now at this point, like he's about to explode, and he's like saying, "I got the lead together. It took me freaking 2 hours. Like how dare you?" And Nas and Scott's like, "Yeah, you're blowing up right now," and just kicks him.
Kicks him.
Shatters everything. Like money is falling. This is it.
They're rich, by the way, off the money.
Oh yeah,
that's falling out of Gideon's body.
And Steven goes, "Do we still get paid, right?" And Kim goes, "There goes our gig." Like, but we get paid. There goes our gig, and he just starts picking up all the points.
That's all Steven wants. At the end of the day, he's out for the money, and he's like he's like folding his shirt over like this, like putting coins in there. I did the same thing.
And then Scott's talking to Ramona and Nas, but then all of a sudden, Nigga Scott appears.
Yeah, the shadow version.
That's the mic.
The shadow version of.
Tyreik is playing with the mic, guys. I'm sorry.
The shadow version of Scott comes out, right? And so you think they're about to fight, and it's funny because it's like all the Zelda references reminds me of like Shadow Link at the end of Zelda 2, and they had he comes in there, you think they're about to fight and everything, and there's about to be another fight scene, and then they end up just like getting like coffee,
shooting the breeze,
and talking and stuff.
Because Nigga Scott's actually a better Scott than Real Scott. Because Real Scott's kind of a bag. Like, he's not a bad guy, but he doesn't have everything together. Nigga Scott's like perfect Scott, pretty much. He's like, he has nothing wrong. He does everything right.
He's a regular dude.
Yeah. And here's the ending. How do you feel about the ending? Because at the end of the movie, Scott pretty much goes with Ramona. Like, he
what are two endings where he goes with Nas?
Yeah, there's a second ending, alternate ending where he goes with Nas. So that also he went through wasn't for him. It was actually for him to get with Nas, and Nas was the better girl for him than Ramona, and Ramona just leaves. But in the end, the original, or I guess the movie version, he goes with Nas. He goes with Ramona. He's like, did all this. I fought for you, and Nas like, hey, go with Ramona. You fought for her. You should go with her. And that, I like the theatrical ending because like. It makes sense. He fought all 7 exes. He should go with Ramona.
He should.
But in the alternate ending, they made it where he did all that to realize that he really should be with Nas.
Yeah, I think it's just because when you make that movie, the original ending, it's got more information, and I think he should be with Ramona for sure. Absolutely. I think Young Neil should try to get with Nas. He is younger too.
Yeah, it makes sense.
It makes more sense. But it's up to preference. Personally, if I was Scott, I think Knives looks better than Ramona. I think Knives fight better than Ramona too. You know what I'm saying? Knives was down for the cause. I feel like Knives, but you know what I'm saying? That's me. I would have went with Knives. Also, if I was in that movie, I'd have went for Julie, because Julie, if you're out there, you're the best one in the movie. Julie can get it. But yeah, I know. I think the ending was good. I think the ending it wrapped up. It's funny though. I wish and I know they don't have time in the movie because it was already pretty. It was like 2 hour movie. No, hour 45.
Hour 45 minutes.
It wasn't super long, but the in like the game, the comic books too. What happens is at the end, like after they beat up Gideon. Like they jump him and everything, and he's on the ground. He actually, like before he dies, he actually does this thing where he like combines with all the X's, and they become like this giant like mutated version of like Gideon. Like Gideon's like huge. Like
it's really like he's blue. No, he's like purple.
He's like huge. Like he's like it's like conglomerate. Like he's got a big heart, and he's like they're like matched up, and there's like faces of all the evil X's and stuff on the faces, and it's like they So actually, he's got a couple. It's crazy because they do it to where the first time you're fighting him, he's like all big and buff. You just kind of like fighting him, kind of like how he normally was, like with the cane.
Yeah.
And then you defeat him, and then he pulls out that sword, and then he pulls out the sword, and then he beats him that way, and then he sucks up all the like old power from all the X's, and then he fights him, and then they all fight him. keep forgetting that is a mic right there.
But
Shout out Tenzin on the computer.
I have Tenzin on my computer screen, guys. Yes, I am a nerd. But also like sports. Like, yeah, I'm the full package. Humble brag. But anyway, the full package. So, Anna Kendrick, I'm telling you. But
Words to live by.
Yeah, like I think the reason why they didn't do that in the video game to the movie because it would just been too much.
It's too long, yeah.
It's too much and too much. It would take it from being what's a comedy to like, all right, guys, you're just overdoing it, and now you just made a solid movie into like a really bad ending.
I just think it's just because they have to when you make a movie and you make a live action movie, you have to lean on some side of reality to some degree, and that's what kind of irks my nerve about. So like I love the Marvel movies, but it irks my nerves about some of the Marvel movies because you have to see your characters as if they were human beings and they have superpowers or something, not as if they're just like superheroes 24/7 and they don't have regular lives. You know what I mean?
Right.
You have to look at it. But yeah, no, it's a great movie, good ending, great music. The music is one of my favorites. Is a highlight for me. I love the music. I love the soundtrack. Great soundtrack, good visuals of for the kind of title that it was.
I think it's super underrated.
Very underrated.
I think this movie should got more credit. Should be more talked about. Still to today, it's been 7 years. I think this movie still should be like a movie that a lot of people joke about. Still, I don't really hear much that going on. Actually, my job's the first time I hear people talk about Scott Pilgrim, and I was like, wait a minute, I'm not the only one. Like you, me, like, and a few of our friends who've seen it, but like it was cool hearing everybody else still talk about this movie.
I think it's a great movie because it survives on itself, on its own, and I think that's why another reason why people don't just talk. A lot of times, movies that people remember and that people always bring up are always like franchised movies or a series or something. They're always movies that have such a big series. Like you look at the Star Wars movies, huge
series.
Books, extended universe, games, comics, whatever. All movies, The Marvel movies, same deal. Pirates of the Caribbean, even same deal. Game of Thrones, stuff like that, same deal. They got books. Lord of the Rings. Oh my God. Look at the Lord of the Rings following. If you ever been around people that really like Lord of the Rings, from the books, the extended lore, the games, the movies.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's so much going on. Scott Pilgrim's just his own thing. They made the movie essentially first. And then, like, the manga and the game, it was all, like, at the same time. And they all kind of were working on it. The movie comes out, the manga drops, the game drops. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it survived on its own. So, for a standalone thing like that, I think it was awesome. It really did good, man.
Well, Tyreik, thanks for coming on, man. Appreciate it. That was the spoiler review, guys. Thank you guys for watching, for listening. Appreciate it. I really do. Please leave a like. Comment what you think of it, a spoiler review. Thank you guys for being around this. I just can't tell you how grateful I am for you guys. Thank you so much,
guys.
Love y'all. Thanks for coming on, Tyreik. I really appreciate it, man. And hopefully have you back on another episode of Movie Showdowns.
Absolutely. Love you, Julie.
Thanks, guys, for watching this episode. See you next time, and keep being awesome. Hey guys, if you're watching this episode on YouTube, please give it a thumbs up if you really enjoy it. If there's a comment or there's a topic or something you want me to talk about in the future, please put it in the comment section below. Also, please click on subscribe if you want more videos of Grind Towards Success or Movie Showdowns. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And lastly, you can follow me on Instagram here, follow me on Snapchat there for more daily and motivational tips. And you can watch the next episode of Grind Towards Success here, or the previous episode, or you can watch another episode of Movie Showdowns here, which is my movie review series. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. And see you in the next episode. Keep being awesome.